So I just tried the Final Fantasy XVI demo, and as someone who has barely played any Final Fantasy games, all I can say is wow. I'm going to do my best to talk about my experience with the demo without giving away too many story spoilers for those who haven't played it yet, but if you plan on playing it, then do yourself a favor and make time for it. To start off, this demo only took me around 2 hours to complete, and I definitely didn't feel like I was rushing through it. When you load into it, you'll be able to customize your experience, from choosing if you want subtitles, performance mode, and a bunch of other options. The demo is a small section of the beginning of the game, as it states that it is part of the prologue, and that upon completing the demo, your progress will transfer over to the main game, should you decide to purchase it. As for the game, it's exactly what you would expect from a AAA game. It's fully voice acted, has beautiful cutscenes, and fantastic music. As for the locations, they looked great. The castle was detailed, and the lighting and the use of colors were definitely eye-catching in certain moments. As for the level design, I can understand why someone might say there's similarities to something like the newer God of War games. Some of the sections seem to be linear with designated battle areas to allow you to make use of the combat mechanics properly with enough space to maneuver. Perhaps these sections were purposely designed this way for the demo and the full game won't feel so linear, but it's difficult for me to be sure. The locations also seem to have a small amount of interactivity, but it doesn't seem like you can destroy every crate you see or anything of that nature. Now, when it comes to the gameplay, you'll be given the chance to learn the basics of combat, as you'll learn about melee and spell attacks, as well as dodging, parrying, and dashing, and they all feel great to use. Actually doing the combat can feel like a hack and slash, and I understand if someone feels like it's simple, because at first glance, it is. But the speed in which the combat feels like it's going to have, with the multiple enemies at a time and the spells that I assume is going to be unlocked as the game goes on, is going to keep the combat interesting throughout. There is also some QuickTime event style animations, as they take place during very specific scripted moments in combat. There seems to be two different versions, one for attacking and one for dodging, and they're both single button prompts, which I really prefer over the mashing X style of commands. The demo also makes it very easy for players who may have difficulty with the combat as a whole, as there are certain accessories to help make the game simpler to play. There are 4 rings the player can choose to equip if they wish, and if you do decide to use them, they'll essentially take a lot of the combat out of your hands so that you can just button mash your way through if all you really care about is the story. One ring will automatically dodge for you, while another will combine multiple different attacks in a combo simply by pressing the one attack button over and over again. While I don't think this is something the vast majority of players will use, I personally have no issues with it being included. There are also, as we've seen in the trailers, the giant icon fights, and while the demo does include some, they do feel rather basic in terms of gameplay. There is also an extra part of the demo that gets unlocked after you beat the initial 2 hours, which gives more details into this aspect of the combat, but I personally didn't really want to be spoiled, so I actually didn't try that section. But the main focus of this demo, the aspect that is going to have everyone talking, is the story. And be warned, this demo is rather cutscene heavy. I will do my best to not spoil this for anyone who wishes to see it for themselves, but this story section was everything it needed to be. I don't think I've ever had an emotional reaction to a game in such a short amount of time. The cutscenes were wonderfully made and the voice acting was fantastic. As someone who isn't familiar with most Final Fantasy plots, as someone who has no idea if these are new characters or not, as someone who can't connect any dots between anything happening here to anything from any previous game, they managed to make me 100% emotionally invested in the characters and story. I was absolutely captivated by the drama of what I was seeing and experiencing. They managed to create something that completely hooked me. They created an atmosphere and tone within the cutscenes and battles that had me 100% invested. Honestly, I think this demo did exactly what it needed to do. Personally, I was someone who was still on the fence about how quickly I should try the game, but this demo turned it into a must-play for me. As someone who doesn't know any backstory or lore from the majority of previous games, this makes me wish I did. I wish I was someone who could notice any Easter eggs that might be hidden in the demo, but since I can't, I just took it in for what it was, and it was a fantastic experience. If you're on the fence about trying this game, then try out the demo. That's what it's there for. If you think the combat looks simple, then give it a try for yourself. If you're curious about the story, then this will absolutely give you a taste of the story and the tone that I really hope can be carried through the rest of the game. If you're like me and you have little to no previous connection with Final Fantasy and you're worried you might get lost jumping into the 16th mainline installment, then absolutely give it a try. But personally, I felt no issues with jumping right in. I felt like this demo was able to hook me in as a rookie to the franchise. There's no harm in trying out a demo. That's what they're designed for. Just know that if you choose to play it, be ready for an intense experience.